A few weeks ago we announced, with the blessing of the Victorian Government, that we'd begun working on contingency plans for if the 2021 Toyota AFL Grand Final couldn't be held at the MCG. During this time we've had open and constant dialogue with the Victorian Government, and in particular Minister Pakula, who I think I've hounded daily and on most days even 2 or 3 times. The Victorian Government's support of football from community level all the way through to the elite is a partnership that the AFL deeply appreciates and allows our game to reach many people across the state on so many different levels. I'd personally like to thank Premier Daniel Andrews and Minister Martin Pakula for that continued support. Throughout the last few weeks, as the pandemic continued to challenge us, we looked at all the possibilities around holding the 2021 Grand Final at the MCG. And I want to thank Stuart Fox and the MCC for their continued support of football and of us through this process. However, it's become clear as we continue to navigate through these challenges that it wouldn't be in the best interests of the community to host a grand final at the MCG this year in front of a crowd. It is now meant that for season 2021, the Toyota AFL Grand Final will be played in Perth at Optus Stadium. The match will be held on Saturday, 25th of September, at a time to be advised. The AFL has reached a suitable agreement with the Victorian Government and the Melbourne Cricket Club on amendments to this year's contract, taking into consideration the circumstances. To all Victorians, we will be back at the MCG, bigger and better in 2022. You have stuck by our game all year, and I know how hard it has been, especially how challenging it has been from a community football sense. It's been a tricky season, not only for the AFL, but for all your leagues. I want you to know that a priority of the AFL to have you back up and running for next season, and you'll have our support. As we look forward to Perth, I'd like to thank Premier Mark McGowan and the West Australian Government for their partnership, not only for the Grand Final, but across the whole season. Season 2021 has proved to be really challenging on many fronts, and we wouldn't have reached this point without the support of all state and territory governments across the year. The announcement today gives us the clarity and time needed to deliver the competing clubs and fans the best grand final experience possible, whether that is in stadium for those in West Australia or through the Channel 7 broadcast for millions of fans around the country and indeed the world. West Australian footy fans are as passionate as any in the country, and the stadium in Perth, with a capacity crowd of 60,000 in attendance, will be an amazing spectacle. An AFL operations team will soon be based in Perth after completing quarantine, and will work with the West Australian Government on the upcoming plans, with further details to be released in coming weeks. Thanks for your support, and I'll now hand over to Mr. Pakula.